All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the SMO Any% Open, hosted by Dansta and Plan B Esports. We've got our third back-to-back Division A quarterfinal match for you here between CrunchySpon and cmanrulo. And actually, the winner of this match will be moving on to face the winner of our previous match, SA1102 SMO. So a lot on the line here for both runners. Should be very interesting to see how this one plays out. Both of them, of course, have 102 or 101s rather, just like the last race. So should hopefully be a close one, like we've seen the last two be. My name is Casual. I'll be here commentating for this race as well, and I will be here for the next one as well. So yeah, just a lot of SMO fun for me today, watching these amazing runners go at it. Looks like we have CrunchySpon doing some last minute warm up here, trying to get this late clip. Hopefully, he doesn't have this much trouble with it during his run. Um, CrunchySpon will have to make sure he gets off a practice mod before he starts his run, because I feel like that probably wouldn't be very allowed in a race, in my humble opinion. C-Man ready to go whenever Crunchy is ready here. Just let him get some last minute practice on, I suppose. But yeah, should be a very hype match. CrunchySpon does have the slightly better PB, about a 50-second PB difference here between the two. But that doesn't necessarily mean much. Um, with how close Division A is, we could see anyone win on any given day. He has the bad practice. He had a whole bunch of different practice mods there. Am I tripping? He had like the best practice mod. He had bad practice mod. He had good practice mod. I think he even had new practice mod in there. A lot of different practice mods. He does. Okay. Making sure he doesn't choose one of those by mistake on the actual game. But yeah, once he has a file set up ready to go, I guess we'll get this underway. But yeah, while we're waiting for that, I'll just go over the rest of the day here real quick. So we've got a Division B semifinal coming up after this one, our first of two, between Lex 206 and Arcani. That should be a very hype match. I'll be joining for comms for that one as well. Um, and then we'll have our beginning of Division S after that. We'll have two back-to-back Division S races, and we'll get to see the most recent 56 runner, Hot Boy, competing in one of the races. So that'll be a lot of fun. So make sure to stay tuned for those. That'll all be coming up after this one. And yeah, it looks like both of them going into the DSTA menu now. No, it's not the DSTA menu. Um, the clock to set up DSTA, I should say. Um, oh, Crunchy's showing that he might be a little bit nervous. That's what we like to see. We have two actual webcams here for this race. I think this is one of the first times we've seen this in this tournament so far in any of the divisions. So that's really neat to see. Very, very based from both of them here, turning on the webcams. I'm a big webcam enjoyer myself, as you might have seen from my Division B race last week. But yeah, it looks like we're just waiting for the run timer to count down here. Both of them will start on their respective offsets, and then we'll get this show on the road. Crunchy, calm down, man. We're not even into the run yet. Just take a deep breath. You got this. Oh, what's going on? Okay, I think we're good. It's a little bit weird from Crunchy, but making it work. And yeah, it looks like we will be off momentarily. But yeah, while we're waiting for these runners to go off here, I'll just shout everyone out that's part of this run. We've got our two runners on screen. Make sure to follow them on their respective main Twitch accounts. I've got myself on commentary. I believe, yeah, that should be good. And we've got Sam and Bert on the restream. So some very cool people involved in this race. Make sure to check them all out. Do we have? It looks like we have Pajulu on stats according to the sheet as well. I don't know if we have a command for that, but I heard Pajulu is also a pretty cool SMO runner. Not sure if he's in Division S. I would assume so. Um, but yeah, it looks like we are off and rolling, quite literally. Gonna be starting out here in the Cap Kingdom, where every Super Mario Odyssey speedrun begins. Oh, Seaman, little bit of weird movement there, but still gets the first person just fine. I don't know, Lucien. I've heard this casual plays fella might be a little bit of a cool individual. And we see the difference here already. CrunchySpon hitting that hydrophobia. And going to be taking a very, very slight lead because of it. And I believe, if I remember correctly, yes, it looked like Crunchy did go for hydrophobia in his last race as well. Seaman actually, this is his first time racing here. He is in the quarterfinals, but his round one opponent did forfeit. So we haven't actually seen Seaman run yet in this tournament, so I'm not sure what kind of strats he'll be going for. But we have plenty of stats here for Crunchy. If anyone is interested in seeing that, we do have our stats sheet for each division. Stats A for Division A, Stats B for Division B, etc. And there's our link for Division A. You can see there's the match stats sheet that I'm keeping an eye on here from CrunchySpon's round one matchup against Gooston. You can keep track of what strats he was going for, what strats he wasn't going for. Some very, very cool stuff on the stats sheet. Definitely recommend checking it out if you are interested in anything like that. I myself am a part math major, actually, so I'm very interested in the math and the stats behind everything. Very numbers based guy. So it's definitely something that's very interesting to me, at least. But yeah, both runners. Clean beginning here for Cascade. Looks like Crunchy did not go for DSS in his first run. Although, if I'm going to be honest, Crunchy is kind of known to be very much of an early game strats kind of guy. So, but we don't see DSS here. Okay, all good. I wouldn't have put it past him if he had gone for it, but deciding not to here. I mean, for a race, it's understandable. Ooh, taking a bit of a bonk though. Ooh, some weird movement here that he needs to do to back it up. Seaman gonna need a cap throw, the second one, but does get up to the dino as well. And we'll see a clean dino skip from Crunchy and a clean dino skip from Seaman. But yeah, because of the weird bonk there from Crunchy, Seaman able to make a bit of time up. It's only going to be a couple seconds behind here in the fight. See, third phases here are good. I don't think we've really seen too many people mess up Madame Brood yet this tournament. I feel like at least the races I've comped so far, we have not seen a single slip up, which is what you like to see. Love to see clean Madame Brutal fights. Now the question is, will either of them go for chest clip? I would doubt it. It looks like Crunchy did not in his first race. I don't know if Seaman's a chest clip enjoyer or not. Not too familiar with the kind of strats he goes for, but I would assume in Division A there's a likely chance we will not. And yeah, none from Crunchy and not from Seaman either. And yeah, pretty good cascades here from both, besides the weird slip up there from Crunchy. Um, and yeah, Crunchy coming in chat saying the mistake is a result of me never doing Dino Skip. Understandable. Yeah, I was gonna say I know you usually do DSS in your PB attempts, so understandable, I suppose. But yeah, still a bit of a lead here for Crunchy, exiting Cascade. See if it changes at all during Sand here. I mean, I know it's just early game, but if both these runners have clean sands, we could very well get to see a close race once again. Our last two races were very, very, very close. Um, I think both of them in Luncheon kind of maybe separate a little bit, but then started coming back a bit more uh, towards the end. But I believe both races were within a minute apart, which is what you love to see. See if it's the case here for this race as well. And yeah, I guess Crunchy, choosing to do the safer strats here for races, I can fully understand that. Ooh, just about synced here, grabbing the first moon here. Both getting the bird and pretty clean spins into the pipe. And yeah, both of them definitely made DSTA, no question about that. So not having to worry about, the seed maybe not being fully grown. They were both perfectly fine. And yeah, I mean, pretty good towns here from both these runners to start out Sand. Oh, and just about synced up exiting employees only. So yeah, we'll really get to see here. A small mistake, perhaps, maybe making the difference here. Maybe giving someone the lead. Because yeah, I mean, at this point, they're basically tied. I hope it stays like this. We saw it in the last two races. That very close races are very fun. I'm sure all of you in chat would agree with me there. Alright, we see a Dram attempt from Crunchy here. cman messing up the movement a little bit, so Crunchy actually is going to pull a little bit ahead going into this Dram. Was good from Crunchy, and looks like we will be seeing the plat clip route. cman missing Dram, though, unfortunately. Oh, and Cappy not cooperating. Oh, and it looks like cman missing the moon crate. Oh, unfortunate. Trying to keep that bullet bill alive to set up the platform clip route, but missing the crate just barely. Oh, and deciding not to do platform clip. Just grabbing this moon instead. Meanwhile, Crunchy working through, had a clean reverse Jaxie. Gonna try and do this manip now. And is good. I mean, cman setting up for a first Jaxie of his own. Looks pretty good. Long jumping off of the platform here. Crunchy with a decent cycle, not the worst, and does get the clip. So yeah, Crunchy probably going to take a bit of a lead out of Sand here. Because cman still does have to go over to the Oasis here and the Lone Cactus. Whereas Crunchy will just have to grab a quick little moon here in the luggage. So yeah, it looks like it should be... I believe this is going to be about 20 to 25 seconds. And yeah, I mean, I'd have to agree with you, Crunchy. That was a pretty good Sand overall. Nothing that really stood out in terms of mistakes. Almost golding Sand, too. That's crazy. GG on the near gold. That's going to give Crunchy a, what is this, 1022, I believe, sand exit? Yeah, a 1022. Very, very nice. Oh, and Seaman coming in saying, my Joy-Con's working as intended. And no input drops whatsoever, I'm sure. A little bit unfortunate, but still having a pretty clean, pretty good sand exit of his own. Looks like it's going to be about a 1050. So, I mean, still less than 30 behind. And I mean, it is the very beginning of the game, so anything can still happen. For those of you that watched the last race, I know I said it a lot, and I will say it a lot again, but it is true. Anything is possible in this game. Especially when we get into kingdoms such as Wooded and Luncheon and Bowser's. Some of the more difficult kingdoms. We see Crunchy going for Triple Jump Lake and not getting it. So gonna have to set up the standard lake clip here. I did see him having a bit of issues with it in practice, but looks like he was getting it all out there. Getting a very clean standard lake clip there first try. Oh, but doing a bit of a dive there instead of the ground pound. Oh, Seaman going for Triple Jump Lake as well. And no good, unfortunately. See, can Seaman match the standard lake clip? And yeah, able to do so. So unfortunately, 2 Triple Jump Lake misses from both runners, but able to get the standard lake clip pretty cleanly. And yeah, I mean, at this point, I can't see there being too much else that would cause these runners any trouble here, ending off lake. Got the last moon here for CrunchySpon. Will we see him actually go into the room, or will he do the camera turn? No, he'll be going actually into the room. Yeah, it's the one on Lake Clip. Yeah, that was a bit of an interesting one. I'm not sure if I've quite seen that one before. But, I mean, you're inbounds at that point, so luckily not doing anything too serious. Just a little bit of time loss with the bonk, but all good. And Seaman going to be going physically into the room as well. And yeah, I mean, pretty similar lakes from both runners here. Both going for Triple Jump Lake, missing it, having a clean standard lake clip as a backup. And okay, I didn't quite catch Crunchy's lake exit, but I would assume it's probably still just under 30-second difference here between the two. But here we go, Wooded Kingdom. This is one of those kingdoms that could really make the difference here in a race. We've got a lot of technical stuff here in this kingdom. Starting out with Nutclip. And we saw actually Nutclip be the difference in Wooded in the last race, with Proac missing it and giving SA the lead out of Wooded despite being almost 40 seconds ahead out of Blake. So it could be the difference here. Again, we'll see. But yeah, it looks like Crunchy will be going for Tree Route, and I would assume Seaman would be doing the same. Some pretty standard stuff for 101 level. And we'll get to see Crunchy's attempt here first, coming up very, very soon. And yeah, I'd say this is pretty good for a race so far, honestly, this early game. See if he can keep it up. Or I guess both of them. Honestly, both of them have not been off to bad starts. Crunchy getting that clip. Can he get the out of bounds to go with it? And yeah, Seaman setting up for Tree Road as well. a bit of a fake moonsink there. And yeah, Crunchy's good. Alright, well now this might add a bit of extra pressure on C-Man here to match this. Otherwise, Crunchy might be able to build even a bit more of a lead. But he is through. Do we get the out of bounds as well? Ooh, an interesting camera here from C-Man. But makes it work. Oh, but does fall though! Gets the moon but does fall. At least he got the moon though. If he had missed the moon as well, that would have been very tragic. Doing the bootleg beginner route backup kind of movement there. Oh, but I just realized not going to be able to grab that ramp moon as a result. So actually is going to have to get this story moon. Meanwhile, Crunchy is going to be off and going with this FRS attempt. So yeah, a little bit unfortunate for C-Man here. Crunchy is dead! Yeah, that's not a deep woods, that's a death. He's back at the Odyssey unless he grabbed the checkpoint. He did not grab the checkpoint, he is back at the wooded shop. And all of a sudden, C-Man's nutclip mishap doesn't really matter too much. Because Crunchy's gonna have to roll all the way back here, up to the story moon. And yeah, C-Man grabbing the story moon now. I think at this point, they're gonna be just about tied. I mean, Crunchy will not have to grab the story moon here. He can go straight into his FRS attempt. So he's gonna have a slight lead still, but that definitely hurts if you're Crunchy. You had a very big chance of being very far ahead out of wooded. But the unfortunate death is going to keep C-Man close. It's going to be, what is this, about 10, not even 10 seconds, more like 5, going into the tower here. Alright, and I would assume we'll see dubber? That might be a word. Double Spiritless here, I would assume. C-Man technically does have the option to fight Spirit, but I would assume probably going to go for Spiritless. It's definitely what he's comfortable with, I would imagine. Crunchy getting the Taka to bounce. And yeah, C-Man going to be doing Spiritless as well. Very clean, no stun. Yeah, and that's the thing, like, CrunchySpon's early game, like, he does so many just high-level strats in the early game that, yeah, I mean, and you can definitely see it's paid off that he's been doing that for so long. Crunchy taking some damage, though, in Flooded Pipes. Going for Pipes Clip! Oh, I was trying to set it up again, but grabbed the moon by mistake. But that is basically gonna make them tied, and I think C-Man has the better cycle here. Oh, barely avoiding damage, and wow, okay, this is gonna be about 2 seconds, 3 seconds out of wooded. Alright folks, well, if this is any indicator, we might be in for another extremely close race. This is, if we have another close race, if it ends up being close again, this has probably got to be the closest day so far in this tournament for just any division. Like I don't think we've quite had 3 back-to-back races that have finished within a minute off of each other yet. I don't know, I'd have to check the stats for that. Maybe there is, but either way, we could be in for a treat. Only a couple seconds off of each other here. I mean, going into Cloud, unless there's some Fast Hats mishaps. Fast Hats mishaps. That's a tongue twister. Say that 5 times fast. Unless we have something to happen in Fast Hats, it should be still very close. And actually, C-Man looks like he had some slightly better text box skips. So actually making up a bit of time. Yo, come on in, Mansta. The races have been very good today. I've been very pleased. We've had two extremely close races so far, and as you can see, this third one is very, very close as well so far. It's been just a great day. It's been absolute cinema, if you will. Yeah, I guess it just did come down to the mashing, huh? Oh, maybe digital. Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure. But yeah, I guess that could be the difference. That is quite possible. Maybe a bit of mashing differences as well, but quite possible maybe the digital versus physical difference is a thing. Well, that was definitely mashing, I think. Oh, yeah, okay, I think, yeah. It looks like Seaman might be on digital. I think that load was slightly quicker for him heading into Lost. Yeah, definitely digital. Okay. Oh, Crunchy is gonna be dead on Mean Tree. Was trying to set it up. It did. I was gonna say it did not look good. I don't know why he committed to it. And yeah, taking the death as a result. Doing a single jump again. Okay, that one worked barely. Not getting the cap return he wanted though for either of those attempts. But yeah, that is gonna give Seaman a considerable lead here now, going into Lost. I mean, like we saw with Wooded. Well, no, I guess Seaman did catch up because of Wooded, not the other way around. But, I mean, we could definitely still see the gap closed. We saw that happen quite a bit in our first two races. We saw a lot of lead changes. Both runners keeping pretty close to each other, and then closing the gaps. I'm sure Crunchy could probably do it here as well. Definitely still a lot of opportunity. Oh, Seaman. Okay, not going to be going for Cage Triple, but does open up the Cage Gold Moon. I'm not sure. Does that still save time? I would assume probably so, but definitely not as much as Cage Triple. Speaking of Cage Triple, we do see Crunchy with the Cage Triple. And yes, both of them are live, aka CLB. Both of them are indeed live. They're not live on their main accounts. They do have alternate accounts they're streaming on. But yes, they are both indeed live. No pre-recordings here. I don't know if we have any. I don't think we have any pre-recordings at all today. No, we don't. Everyone live on Twitch today. We have some conflicting answers here. Crunchy's saying it doesn't save time. Lucine saying it does. I would assume that's what we're talking about anyway, with the non-cage triple cage gold. So I'm not sure who to believe here. But not to worry about it anymore, though. We are into Night Metro now. And Seaman with a pretty good climb. Crunchy will look to match. Only one race may have to be pre-recorded tomorrow morning? Dang, well, I mean, heck. Very, very live weekend. What you love to see. I think last week or 2 weeks ago there were a decent bit of pre-recordings. But yeah, I guess it's not going to be the case this week. Which is very, very cool. G5 maybe, okay. Actually, that will be our fourth and final Division A quarterfinals match. The first match tomorrow between JD and the G5. We have our third one here right now. Winner of this moves on to face SA. The winner of tomorrow's match will move on to face SMO. So yeah, some very, very cool things happening in Division A. And I'm not sure what happened, but it looks like Seaman may have made some mistakes in City Hall. Didn't really quite catch what happened, unfortunately, but Crunchy has definitely closed the gap. So, yeah, something definitely happening here. Looks like Seaman will opt not to do Giggler. Looks like Crunchy will attempt it, and no, not clipping. I was gonna say, that didn't look like the correct position. Um, I don't know too much about Giggler, but that definitely didn't seem like the ideal setup. Alright, well, we will see if we can get some double 2-cycle action here. Seaman taking a little bit of damage, but that is pretty clean. Okay, and I guess Crunchy did get the 2-cycle, making it a little bit close, but making it a teeny bit spoiled in chat. All good, though. And it looks like Seaman will have... looking like about a 10 to 15 second lead here. Yeah, about 10 seconds. Oh, is that actually how it works? Okay, I actually did not know that either. Um, today I learned. That's my today I learned moment. That is very cool, actually. I mean, yeah, I guess there's no fireballs to stop the Wiggler like there is for Phase 2. So I guess it needs some other way to stop. And I guess that makes sense. That's very neat. Love it. Ooh! Speaking of love, I love that drive-by from Seaman. That was very clean. I was gonna say I love learning things, but I also love that drive-by. Crunchy with a pretty good scoot clip as well. Oh, Seaman missing the dram though. Oh, and grabbing onto the bench. A little unfortunate. Gonna give Crunchy a little bit of time here. Still gonna be a small lead for Seaman, but able to close the gap a little bit. That missed spin throw might help Crunchy a tiny bit too. See, when it comes to these close races, that's the thing. Like, usually these small mistakes, they may not seem like much, but when you get an extremely close race like we have been seeing, you see how much these small mistakes actually matter. Especially when you get into a race setting. Oh, we see the route difference here. Crunchy going to be going for slots and bullet building, whereas Seaman's going to be going for the story moons. All right, well, let's see it. See how clean of a bullet building Crunchy's able to get here. Meanwhile, Seaman going to be heading over to the observatory here. I believe that's what it's called. Going to be grabbing this quick moon and then grabbing a story moon as well. And yes, I'm a big fan of the control stick flick for the bench friends as well. Control stick enjoyer. I even realized people do motion flicks. Is it Memorial Park? I swear I've seen something to do with Observatory. Maybe that's a different part. I swear I've seen that. I know that's a more Galaxy thing, but I swear I've seen it in SMO as well. Call me crazy, but I swear I've seen it in SMO before. But, yeah, okay. Memorial Park, that does make more sense. Oh, Seaman taking a bonk, though, and Crunchy taking a bonk, too! Crunchy had the chance to take the lead, but both of them bonking, getting up to this... get up to this moon. Did we get a bullseye here from C-Man? That looks okay, and it is. Crunchy as well looks good, and yeah, good bullseyes here from both. Both knowing exactly where that moon is. That's what you like to see. Desvatory. You're right. I swear I've seen that in SMO before, though, somewhere. It's probably a checkpoint, yeah. I'll have to look into it again. Maybe after this. Well, maybe not after this run because I have another one to commentate, but maybe when we have our break, I'll look into that. Um, but yeah, no time for a break here as we're going into the second half of these runs, and we're only 2 seconds apart again. I swear this is deja vu. I swear we saw this in this exact same thing in the last race, where the racers were 2 or 3 seconds apart, leaving Metro. This might even possibly be the third time we've seen this. That is crazy. All right, well, strap in. This is gonna be another good one, folks. The second half is gonna be hype. Crunchy coming in claiming he did 200 snow ILs this week. That's a lot of snow ILs. It's about, what, like 30 snow ILs a day on average. Kind of crazy, if you ask me. We'll see if the ILs pay off, I suppose. C-Man very narrowly avoiding a block there on an icicle. But yeah, both of them pretty standard beginning movement here. Heading into Shiveria. And I mean, we'll definitely see double snow jams. I'll call it right now. At this level, if they're not going for snow jam, I'd be very shocked. We'll get to see here in just a moment from C-Man. And yeah, gonna be going for it. Oh, getting the what's that called? I forget the name of that. I know there's a name for that very interaction. And I've definitely gotten it quite a bit myself. But yeah, forcing him to reset it up, and Crunchy's actually going to take the lead off of that. Oh, going for the snow clip. Oh, Crunchy not getting it. And C-Man does. So I think... Oh, Crunchy's still barely in the lead. Okay. I thought we were going to see a second lead change. C-Man taking a death, though, at the start of Typhoon Room. Oh, that's unfortunate. Luckily, it's at the very beginning, so it's not like a huge time loss. It is a little bit unfortunate, though, and we see the difference it makes, because they were basically synced going into Typhoon Room. Anyways, this is true. SA. Ooh, C-Man. Okay, making it work. It's kind of scared he might get just blown off the edge there for a moment, but is all good. C-Man is He-Man. All right, that's what's up. He-Man. Gonna need to become him here for the rest of the snow if he wants to maybe be ahead of the snow. But I mean, they're still quite close, even with that death. Only about, what, 10 seconds apart? And yeah, pretty good Goomba room here from Crunchy. C-Man assuming he gets his triple jump as well. Should be good, yeah. Good Goomba rooms from both. Oh, alright, well. I guess we'll see it here. Being inconsistent in practice is one thing, but when it comes to a run setting, that's where it counts, right? So I mean, maybe if you're not hitting it in practice, um, could still just hit it in a run anyway, and it won't really matter. We'll see here. They're still quite close together, so yeah, just like the last race, we're gonna see basically them going for Snowdram at the same time. Crunchy's slightly bit ahead though, so we'll get to see his attempt first. And there we go. First try for Crunchy. Can Seaman follow up? Okay, not getting the vault. Good awareness, and we'll get back onto the Odyssey. Setting up for the second try here, and that is good. Okay, so maybe losing a tiny bit of time, but at least not failing Snowdram altogether. And there we go. Still going to be very, very close, about 15 seconds apart here, leaving Snow. And yeah, that's what I was saying, Crunchy. Like, even if you're inconsistent at it in practice, as long as you can get it where it counts, then that's the main thing. And yeah, able to get it first try in this run. That's all that matters. Alright, now heading into Seaside here. Oh, taking the same bonk that I believe SA did at the beginning of Seaside. Taking another bonk! This is Seaman's chance to maybe basically be tied up here in Seaside. Cleaner beginning here for Seaman, and yeah, no bonks. Gonna make up a good chunk of time, bonking on the pipe too. Oh, it may have been Proac, okay. It was one of you two either way. And then the other one got it cleanly. But yeah, a little bit of deja vu again from last race. And suddenly, yeah, it's very close. Ooh, Crunchy with the up throw strat. Very clean. Seaman, a clean movement of his own here. And yeah, I believe this is... yeah, just over 5 seconds of difference now. Ooh, Seaman doing the down throw. Showing off those Joy-Cons once again. Ooh, Crunchy going for fish and dips. And not clipping out of bounds. Seaman not even going to attempt it, so actually is going to be saving a tiny bit of time because of that. Oh, okay, but does take a damage, though, unfortunately. Crunchy did take a fish bonk, but that is going to be less time lost than Seaman's health refill here. We have Seed 16 and Seed 14 in Top 4 Division A. That just shows you how insanely competitive Division A is, and how close the PBs are. That is nuts. And it's possible if Seaman wins this race as well, we could have the Seed 10 as well. 3 of the lower half seeds making it into the semis. That would be very, very interesting. Oh, Crunchy. Yelling a little bit at the game there. They're basically synced going into this fish clip here. Oh my gosh, they basically synced up grabbing the fish. That is crazy. Yeah, that's true as well, Dan. So that would be nuts. Yeah, because, of course, yeah, the winner of this does go on to face SA. So if Seaman does win, then that's a Seed 10 versus Seed 14 matchup in the semifinals. And then, of course, one of them moving on to finals. But Crunchy will try and have a say in that, being one of the higher seeds that are remaining. Gonna look to try and put a stop to the Cinderella stories here, perhaps. And yeah, there we go. I mean, as of right now, Seaman does hold a very, very small lead leaving Seaside. So far, I mean, if it stands the way it is right now, Seaman will be the one to move on. But we do have Luncheon, and we do have Bowser's, and we do have Moon coming up. So it ain't over until the wire is captured. Still a lot that could potentially go wrong for either runner here, which could make the difference in this race. C-Man setting up that salt triple, Crunchy as well. And both of them hitting it. And yeah, I mean, races are definitely different than your standard just PB attempt. It's a lot of mental as well. I've gotten pretty used to doing races with the amount I've done. So I feel like I've got the mental pretty down pat for race settings, but you know, if you're not too familiar with races, you haven't done too many, then yeah, it's definitely easy for things to just go wrong. And yeah, it's a sad thing too when the inputs aren't really inputting. I think we saw that in the first race as well with Red Lunatic, having a lot of input drops. So yeah, I mean, that could be definitely a big part of it as well. You know, you hate to see when it comes down to that, but you know, especially for SMO, it's a part of the game that you just have to be used to sometimes. And yeah, I can imagine Dance. Well, I mean, I couldn't imagine myself because I probably won't ever be in Pro League, but yeah, I can imagine it would be very, very taxing on the mental for sure. Facing off against your fellow top runners of the game, going toe to toe each week. All right, well, both of them pretty clean movement in town here so far. C-Man still does hang on to just a small lead. And yeah, I mean, that's the thing, like, especially in Pro League where, you know, you don't really see too many mistakes happening. And that's especially, yeah, where you can see one mistake really being the difference. And I mean, especially with this race too being so close, that's where we could see mistakes being a big part. Crunchy, luckily not a huge mistake for him, but that was weird. Yeah, I agree with Crunchy there. What the heck happened with him there? That was bizarre. But yeah, it does have to take a bit of a health refill, unfortunately. Gonna give C-Man a slightly bigger lead here in Luncheon. Excuse me. And yeah, I believe, yeah. So it'll be, yeah, the round one winners of the playoffs and then somebody else. Do we have a way of knowing who this ninth person is going to be? Are they going to have to do like one big tiebreaker or something? Or have we thought that far ahead yet? I guess there's still plenty of time to consider it. Consider the options. But yeah, I mean, we've got some runs here. And we've got some pretty, oh, I was gonna say some pretty clean cheeses from both, but Crunchy just barely missing the cheese that mattered most. I'm gonna lose a tiny bit of time there over C-Man, but I mean, hey, still anyone's race to win here. They're still pretty close. Definitely less than 30 seconds separate the two still. 3 four-way races. That would go hard. I guess we've still got quite a bit of time before we get to that point, but once we get there, oh, that is going to be extremely hype. And I mean, yeah, they're fighting for a single spot, so that's insane. But yeah, we've got we've got all of Division S to do before we get to that point, which we haven't even got to starting yet. I guess we will be starting it later today. Crunchy will barely stay alive. Okay, knows the backup and lives on 1 HP. I got very scared there for a second, but luckily he knows his stuff. Gets a health refill here with the checkpoint, so he doesn't have to worry about it with the Story Moon. But yeah, I mean, Crunchy, with some small mistakes in Luncheon for sure. You could definitely say they added up a bit. Seaman with a pretty clean Luncheon overall. And Crunchy making some mistakes, so yeah, the gap will widen a little bit for Seaman. But, you know, it's still definitely less than 30 seconds apart. It's about, yeah, it's just under 20, in fact, even. 46.03 exit for Seaman here. And it looks like to be about a 48.21 or so. 48.21? No, 46.21 from Crunchy. What am I on about? That's 2 minutes into the future, man. We'll be in ruined fights by then. But yeah, not too much to comment on here. We're just moving up to the ruined fight. We're going to be seeing some, I guess some glorified auto scrollers here with these ruined fights. Although we did see some difference made up in the last race with, I forget who it was that was behind that made up a little bit of time in ruined because of some mistakes from the other runner. I mean, I guess we could see that here, but it won't be enough to, you know, get Crunchy into the lead or anything. At least I would hope not. The only way that could happen is if we saw, like, a death from Seaman. But it looks like Crunchy actually does have the chance to maybe make up about a second or so. Seaman. Slightly scuffed cycle there. No, if we see a ruined death, yes, I will take full responsibility for it. I'm that confident that it won't happen. I will take 100% responsibility if it happens. I'm that confident. Like I said, I have not seen a ruined death in well over a year now. I forget who it was the last time I saw take one. But it's so uncommon. Especially for runners of these caliber. And yeah, Seaman does not take a ruined death. See? There we go. We are good. Maybe, perhaps freeing myself from the commentator's curse. Actually, no. I don't think you can ever fully break the commentator's curse. I stand corrected. But at least not having it happen for the ruined fight, anyway. And yeah, alright. Heading into... about to head into bunnies here. I guess while we've got some cutscenes here, I'll just once again go over the schedule for the rest of the day. So coming up after this in about 30 minutes, we've got our first Division B semifinal between Lex and Arcani. I'll be joining the booth for that one as well. And then we'll have our first Division S matchups. Hot Boy and Mesa. I hope I'm saying that right. And Game Nerd versus Tuxedo Cat. So 2 very, very hype matchups to start off Division S. So yeah, definitely make sure to stay tuned for those. And it looks like Crunchy did make up a teeny bit of time in Ruined. A couple seconds, actually, going from about 18 seconds behind out of Luncheon to 16 out of Ruined. So, I mean, not a huge difference, of course, but... I mean, in a race as close as this, every second could potentially matter. And we see Seaman opting for the bird dram, okay. We were talking about this last race where it wasn't too common to see the bird drams at this level, but C-Man showing me wrong. So yeah, it will look like Crunchy will make up a bit of time here, but we will have to keep in mind that he will have to grab the Crates Moon, where C-Man will not have to do that. So yeah, it may look like he caught up, but in reality, we'll get to see that whenever Crunchy is done with the Crates Moon, which will be after Bunnies. But yeah, pretty good starts here from both. Nothing major happening, luckily. C-Man had a pretty clean bird dram, Crunchy with some pretty clean movement to the ogre. See how these shards go. Okay, going for... Oh, taking a bonk though, and that's going to be damage as well. So we'll need to do that health refill. Wow, that's a very scary wall jump there. But does stay alive. And it looks like Crunchy does have a slightly cleaner shards here. Assuming nothing goes wrong with the birds. And yeah, okay. Crunchy definitely making up some time now. For sure. Oh, C-Man re-grabbing the Pokio! And taking more damage, but thankfully still on 2 HP, so not fully dead. But yeah, they're just about synced, grabbing that Shards Moon. I mean, Crunchy does have the Crates Moon to grab still, but definitely has made up some time since Ruined. Without a doubt. And yeah, we see the health refill being the difference here. Crunchy gonna be able to do this Bowser Jam slightly quicker. And yeah, clean Bowser Jams from both runners. That was very cool to see. Alright, we get the Harriet first from Crunchy, and we get the Harriet first from C-Man. Alright, glad to see that both runs are indeed valid. That's what you love to see. Crunchy setting it for Sarbomba. C-Man opts to not go for it. Oh, Crunchy taking some damage. That's fine though, still getting it done. And yeah, gonna be showing the difference here that Sarbomba makes. Oh, C-Man. Maybe forgetting this was any percent for a moment, going for some cap throws. Trying to grind them for all moons. But no, good Harriets from both. Crunchy taking a little bit of damage, which was sort of weird, but other than that, very clean from both. See if Crunchy opts to grab the checkpoint here after Topper. Or if maybe he'll get a... No, okay. We'll have to choose. Will he go for the health refill, or will he go for the checkpoint? I'm not actually sure which one is quicker. I would assume the checkpoint. As long as you're fast with it. But I mean, you do have to go out of your way a little bit. And no, Crunchy will not grab the checkpoint. So maybe the health refill actually is slightly faster. But yeah, pretty good bunnies here from both. And Crunchy, although it does look like he has a small lead, keep in mind, he does have to grab this Crates Moon. So we'll truly get to see if he is in the lead here after this moon is grabbed. C-Man will have a nice clean climb up here. Won't have to worry about grabbing this moon. Crunchy breaking all of the boxes. C-Man with a bit of a bonk though. Gonna take some damage. And they are just about synced up. C-Man ever so slightly ahead. Both of them playing it safe here on the climb up here. And yeah, C-Man ever so slightly ahead. And I mean, I say ever so slightly because it's only a few seconds. Looks like Crunchy is having the slightly better climb too, so making up some time. And it's like 1 second apart. It will really come down to this mech fight. As we say in the business, it all comes down to BLJs. Oh, both of them having a slight issue getting this climb, but both of them getting it in the end. Crunchy gonna be slightly more awkward here, but makes it work. And there we go, both of them with clean beginnings. This is about a second apart, folks. This is what it's all about. And that, yeah, what Dansta said. This is crazy. Alright, let's see the TAs. I'll try and keep my eye on both of them if I can. C-Man takes the bonk and Crunchy gets it! That could be the difference! Crunchy gonna take the lead out of mech. And there we go. Just like that, it's gonna be, yeah, about a 20, probably 20-second difference here. And I mean, at this level, that is, yeah, that's a very, very common thing that it boils down to, is how good your mech is. We see Crunchy nailing the TA, C-Man just taking the unfortunate bonk, just slightly too high. So yeah, Crunchy will have the lead going into Moon, and C-Man might have to hope that Crunchy makes a few small mistakes. Excuse me. But yeah, I mean, I've said it before, I'll say it again. It's not over till it's over. It ain't over until that wire is captured. We've seen some crazy things happen in Moon in some of these races. In fact, our first race of the day, we saw Red Lunatic take a death in 2D, and that's what made the difference. Stamo was able to catch up and pull out the win. We saw it in another race as well in Division B. I won't comment on that one because there may have been a little bit of commentator's curse happening with that one that may have involved myself. We won't worry about that though. Surely that doesn't happen again. But yeah, here we go. It all comes down to this. All comes down to Moon. Crunchy, going to be starting us off. Ooh, barely landing on that platform. But does get the triple and a pretty good vector. Grabbing those rocket flowers. C-Man starting out his Moon as well. And Crunchy going for the patented 2-wall jump, making it work, and makes the climb. C-Man going to have to match now in order to try and keep up here. Oh, not getting on the Sphinx right away. Good backup though. Going for a 2-wall jump as well. Very interesting camera, but does make it work. And Crunchy getting a clean first phase. So yeah, C-Man is going to have to hope for something to happen to Crunchy here during either the fight or during escape. But here we go. Crunchy on to phase 2, C-Man on his first phase. Crunchy with a slightly faster movement in phase 1. And they're basically punching Bowser at the same time. That's pretty cool to see. But yeah, of course, there's that one phase difference. Not sure what Crunchy was trying to tell us there with the fingers. I saw a 3 and a 1. I'm assuming that means 3 tail swipes, then 1 tail swipe for Bowser. I'm assuming that's what he's trying to tell us. Um, let's see. 1, 2, 3. There we go. Oh, yeah. Giving us the 3. And there's the 1. Yeah, okay, I could read his lips there that time. Yes, he was definitely saying that. That's funny. Alright, well, here we go. Escape time for Crunchy. D-Man trailing not too far behind. Alright, folks, who's it gonna be? Will Crunchy be able to hold on? I'd assume we probably won't see 2DSS attempts. Oh, Crunchy missing the triple jump. That won't be enough to give C-Man the lead by any means, but certainly could help him a teeny bit if Crunchy makes more small mistakes like that. Going into 2D here. Oh, not going to be able to go for 2D skip. Accidentally breaking the block. Crunchy playing it super safe. I do not blame him. And yeah, make sure to check out these runners on their main Twitch accounts. As you can see, they are very good at what they do. And I've got myself on comms and Sam and Bert on the restream. All some very, very cool individuals. Especially the runners and the restreamer. C-Man! Oh, we'll be taking a death in 2D, and that will pretty much do it here. Unless... Okay, I won't finish that sentence. I don't want the incident to happen again on my watch. Okay, Crunchy getting that first pillar. And yeah, C-Man taking the clip. Just an unfortunate thing happening to him there. Oh, getting blocked there a bit by the block. Hey, well, I didn't actually mean to do that. But that will be GG. Crunchy will be taking home the win and going to be moving on to the semi-finals. Going to be finishing out with a 102... no, 50. 102.50. Very good run for Crunchy here. GG. Got C-Man coming up to Pillars himself here. Still maybe possibly on 103 watch. I'm not sure how good his Pillars is. But needing a 54 in order to get a 103. So it's possible. Oh, Crunchy with the self-injury in celebration. You hate to see it. Oh, C-Man not quite getting the first pillar. That's probably 103 over for him, unfortunately. But still, assuming nothing happens, should be a very low 104 for him still, which is still a very respectable time for a run. For a race, that is. He's one more shot. Oh, one more? There we go. And there we go. C-Man will be wrapping up with, I think, either a very high 104 OX or a very low 104 1X. That's... okay, no, a mid 104 OX. What am I saying? That is going to be a 104.07 for C-Man. So GG's both. Claps in chat. It was a very, very good race. We've had some very, very good races today. All 3 of them. This one not disappointing either. So yeah, very, very clean here from both. Love to see it. I guess we'll see if either of them want to join for a brief interview before we head to the next match. I'm not sure how I feel about a 616 Moon C-Man. I'm not sure how to feel about that one. I might have to take it up with some other folks. Oh, looks like Crunchy is good to join interview. Is Seaman good as well? Guess we'll see in just a moment here. But yeah, GG's to both. Very, very good runs. Very entertaining. Once again, we've had some banger matchups today. Hello, Crunchy.
I didn't ask if I could join, but I assumed so.
Oh yeah, no worries, man. Yeah, GG's on your win. Hello,
Thank
Seaman as
you.
well.
You're
Hello.
a great commentator, I have to say.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, you both played really, really well. Unfortunately, Seaman having a bit of a
I
moment
know.
there on TA. Really
TA
wasn't
and
his
Moon.
finger. And Moon, yeah. Making the difference, but I mean, up to that point, it was extremely close throughout. You guys
I
put on a show here for us.
I
Hmm.
was convinced I had lost at luncheon. I had convinced myself I had lost the race when we were like
Oh,
after
really?
the cheese mistake. That
Hmm.
cheese was atrocious. I don't know why that cheese is so bad.
Well, I mean, I guess you're right, but I mean, it wasn't too bad of a luncheon. Like, you didn't make any big mistakes. It was kind of just all kind of small stuff that kind
The
of added up.
manipulas, I had some, I don't know what that was, I'm gonna be honest. I just dove in the opposite direction. And then it was like the cheese and the falling in the lava at the end. But like Seaman had like a pretty good luncheon,
I
it
had like a
seems.
621, so yeah, that was pretty good.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
quite
that
good
was
for his.
amazing.
I actually played one of Golden Bunnies and less than one of Golden Sand.
Yeah,
Dang,
that
We
yeah,
makes
are
I didn't
sense
see you
because
lucky.
mention your stand.
like by the time I got into say or like I left sand, you were already like doing lake, and I was like, well, I'm just gonna lose now.
Yeah, I got a 441 Sand. It was quite good. And then Wooded
That's
was like
fair
a
race, yeah.
616, and I have a 512. So that was that wasn't very nice.
Oh gosh,
Mm.
pulling out a me level wooded.
uh,
But yeah,
um,
I mean, you guys, other than some slip ups in some kingdoms, both playing quite well overall, I'd say. Um,
Thank you.
um,
I tried my best.
that's what we
yeah,
love to see.
I had practice lost, like I did an entire loss just before this run, and then I get in loss and I miss Mean Tree right away. I was like, maybe I shouldn't even have practice lost. Uh,
Dang, yeah, unfortunate.
I do
But
die fall, by the way. I don't do CRJ. I heard you say that.
oh, okay, okay,
Um, and then I missed fishing this because I was too far left. Uh, I I was I got like a 442, 443 snow maybe. I was really convinced I was gonna miss snow jam. I was doing practice just before this race, and I think I had like a 50% consistency with it, which is quite bad for a one-on-one runner, principally considering I was doing snow aisles for the past week. I
right.
golded by only 1.5 seconds, but at least I golded.
Hey, well, there you go. And yeah, I mean, nailing the snow jam in the run where it counts. So very,
Yeah,
very
I was
nice.
very glad I got that. If I had missed that, like even like technically I would have still won, but I would be so demotivated from missing that I could have very well lost because of missing Snow Jam. It could have very well happened.
Quite possible. All right. Well, yeah, GG's to both. Do any of you have any kind of last words here before we head out?
I don't think so.
Um, GG Crunchy.
Thank
You
you.
earned it.
GG to you too.
GG's all around. Yeah, you guys both played well. Putting on a show for us here.
I feel
That's what we
like
like to see.
I didn't really have much time to practice this week, and the nerves kind of got to me. So that's probably why,
Fair
like
enough.
most of the attributed failure. But you know, it is what it is.
Yeah, definitely does play a factor indeed. But yeah, I mean, GG's to both of
I have
you.
one thing to say.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
That this means that the semifinals, the next semifinals will be Portuguese versus Portuguese, which is like insanely
Seriously?
rare because there are like four Portuguese SMO runners. It's actually like
Oh my
almost no
gosh.
one. And SA
Wait,
is
that's so
Portuguese.
cool. That is really,
Yeah.
really neat, actually. I'm looking forward to seeing that then
Yeah.
for sure, especially knowing that.
Okay, now
But yeah, I think
now
we'll
I
head
think
out there. We've got
yeah.
Lex versus Arcani coming up next. Division B semifinals. Speaking of semifinals, so yeah, make sure to stay tuned. I'll be here for this one as well. But
Okay,
yeah,
and we're gonna leave now.
see you in about 10. Yeah.
Bye
All right.
bye.
Bye.
Bye.